Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bloomingdale's On Screen. I'm one of your hosts and also the Bloomingdale's Home Fashion Director, Kelly Carter. I couldn't be more excited to be streaming to you live from Michael Aram's amazing home in New York City. We're so excited to have you join us from your homes to learn about Michael's holiday entertaining essentials. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Kelly, welcome. This
Thank
is
you.
so great. This is the first time that we've ever done anything like this out of my home. So I'm so glad it's with Bloomingdale's, and I'm so thrilled that you're here to share it with us.
I'm so happy to be here. So I know he doesn't need an introduction because we're all big fans, but I'm standing next to an award-winning artist, a trained sculptor, art historian. He does everything.
I do it all, and I cook.
I know, and he cooks.
And he cooks.
So Michael loves pomegranate, and that's why we sent you pomegranate cocktail recipes. And I'm going to make mine, and you should make yours along with me. And Michael, can you please tell us why you love pomegranates?
Well, first of all, what a great idea to start with a cocktail. What a great way to loosen up. Not that we're nervous. We love being here with everyone. But I love pomegranates because they're so incredibly symbolic of abundance, of life, of fertility, of renewal. And when we think of, all the things that we need in life, especially at this time, we all need abundance and renewal and feeling like we can do anything, right? So pomegranates definitely represent that for me. And I'm really excited to make this cocktail with you.
I know. So you dip your glass in water so you can put the pomegranate salt on.
Is this like
the
a
rim.
Himalayan sea salt, or what is this?
It's pomegranate flavored salt.
Oh, it's so pretty. My
Isn't it
daughter is
beautiful?
pink. My daughter would love it. She would approve.
I love it. So then you put in 3 ounces of water.
Okay.
I'm on the gin part. You don't have to use gin. You could use tequila, vodka, seltzer, whatever you want. I'm going to pass that to
Thank
you. Then you drop in.
Are you one of those folks who follow recipes?
Not really.
You just sort of wing it.
I just wing it.
Well, when it comes to this, I think we can wing it.
I think so too. And I'm always missing something from a recipe, so I have to figure it out. So we just drop these all in. Look at that. How fun is that?
You know what's great is the juniper berries of the gin and the sweetness of the pomegranate.
Okay, this is my last one, and then I'm going to stir it up a little bit.
Well, this feels so festive already,
Right?
doesn't
Look
it?
at this.
You know what I love? I like entertaining when you can do things with your guests like this, like just make a cocktail together. It's like a shared moment, right?
I know, and it also looks like magic the way it's. Mine is about to foam over.
Yeah, I was jokingly saying that these felt like bath bombs.
Yeah, they're like bath bombs that you drink. Don't drink bath bombs at home, please.
Uh-oh, it's erupting.
I know. I'm going to add some ice. Hopefully this doesn't take me over the top.
Well, it's sort of cool. It's dripping pink.
I'm going to start. Oh, that was a little fast. Oh, thank you. And then at the end, if you want to add some color, we'll add some pomegranate seeds. Can I serve you some pomegranate seeds?
Of course, thank you. It's funny. When I was a kid, I always say that I learned design by crawling around on Oriental carpets.
Oh, that's a nice way to learn design.
All the natural dyes and the pomegranate dyes, with the colors of the carpet. So for me, pomegranates have always been such a sort of central motif for me, and a very deep inspiration. So maybe we'll drink this and feel very inspired, right?
I think so.
Cheers.
I'm already inspired.
Well, cheers, and cheers to everyone.
Cheers to everyone
for a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes, and don't forget to ask us questions. Say hi. Tell us how much fun you're having.
And tell us what you're mixing. Tell us what you're mixing your bath bomb with.
Yes. What's your liquor of choice?
Well, you know what? Honestly, what a great way to start an evening with a drink in hand. But we've done more than that. We've created what we call meze, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers, which are such an important part of how we entertain at home. And honestly, is a really fun way for us to even have a family moment. Some of the things we made are not so easy to make. We made stuffed grape leaves, and my kids have, this sounds like child labor, but my kids have very small fingers and they're really great at rolling the grape
Little
leaves.
baby
So we
fingers.
put them to work, and it really is a fun way of sharing, family recipes, fun way to share family traditions, and a great way for them to really feel proud that they've contributed towards a family meal, And this year, of course, it's different. We're all
Yeah.
celebrating in very different ways, but I was talking to the kids and to my husband the other day and saying that we have to really almost go above and beyond this year. Why? It's just the four of us. We're, very small gatherings, but we can't just let that be, taken for granted. How wonderful that we're with each, with our loved ones,
Right.
however small the group it is, and to make it as special as we can. So one of the things we like to do, of course, is to cook together, to serve food beautifully, which just makes it feel that much more special. One of the things I'm going to have you do today is one of our favorite recipes or traditions around the holidays, which is making Armenian cheese boreg,
Oh, boregs.
which are yummy, deceptively easy to make.
It sounds yummy.
There are a number of variables to it, and the big variable actually is the dough, because these are done. But with the dough, you have to work pretty fast so that they don't dry out, so we don't get all embarrassed on screen here. Okay, we're going to give you 2 sheets. Okay, well, I'll show you how to do it first. How about that?
Okay, great. While you're doing this, can you tell me about this tray? I'm obsessed with it and I can't.
Sure. Well, that is
Stop
part of
looking
our
at it.
butterfly Ginko collection. But what's amazing about that piece is we've combined actual amethyst. There are slivers of amethyst tile that we have created a sort of mosaic with on the marble, and it's a limited edition of only 50 pieces that we've done exclusively for Bloomingdale. So that's truly, a super limited edition piece, which is just so pretty. I think there's something so rich about the color of the amethyst against the gold. I hope you're watching.
I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm watching.
So here we have our phyllo dough.
Okay.
I'm going to fold it up. I'm going to fold the sides in. And as I fold them in, I'm going to do a little runway of melted butter.
Okay.
Fold the other one in. Okay. And then I'm going to just fold it as a triangle.
Wow.
Okay. Like that. Just like a little triangle. I'm going to end it with a little bit of butter just to glue this part down. And there we have it. That's how you make a boreg.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to set you up with the phyllo sheets.
I'm very excited. This is my first time making a boreg or anything with phyllo dough.
There we go.
This is my first phyllo
so
dough.
I'm going to switch places with you here.
Okay.
Just make a U shape down the sides, across a little bit lighter.
Oh.
Just like a
heavy on the butter.
What do we call it?
Sorry.
Just a feathery stroke, yeah. And then down this side. And I'm sure I have a lot of Armenian ladies who are telling me what we're doing wrong right now, which is so funny because I've been talking to my mom and talking to one of my co-workers at the office who's Armenian, and we've all been talking about how we do it differently. So there's a lot of different ways, and that's what makes it fun. It's like family to family almost, about what kind of cheeses you put in it, whether you put salt or not salt, feta cheese, Munster cheese. It changes from household to household, but the idea is the same no matter where.
I love that. What kind of cheese is this?
Well, here we have Munster and we have farmer's cheese.
Yum. Is this enough cheese?
That's perfect. So remember, fold it up from the bottom. Okay. You've done this before.
I used to be a prop stylist, so I fold a lot of things. Like sheets. Okay, so do I
and then fold that in straight. Yep, you got it. A little dab of butter down that runway.
I can get heavy on the butter.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
You know, what's wonderful about, now this sounds like a cooking show, but what's wonderful about these is you can make them beforehand and put them in the freezer and then just pull them out and bake them when you have your guests come over. So things like this are actually done by us around now for Thanksgiving. So we can
Oh,
and
I
sort of
love that.
pre-prepare our some of our menu.
Okay, now
And then just fold it in triangle, triangle, triangle. Yours
triangle
looks better than mine.
like
Hey.
this.
Yep.
Oh,
And there you
oh.
go. You got it.
I put a little butter here, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna make these with the recipe that
Sure. And you can put
I'm going to get from you.
You can put meat in them if you want, or spinach in them. These are just cheese,
Oh,
but
look
they're
at
really
that.
great. And what's nice is when you bring them out of the oven, it just it's like going that extra little bit for your guests, and they
Right.
really feel like you've cooked something yourself, you've made it at home, and it's sort of your family, of your house, and it just feels more special.
Tell me about this beautiful spread and all these amazing trays that you've used
Well,
for food.
well, let me see. I'm pretty bad in the sense that I was pushing my team to bring out things that are not yet available, because when
Ooh,
everybody
exclusives.
asks me what's new, ha ha ha, my mind is already in 2022.
Right.
Because we work on a fashion calendar.
Right.
We meet with the style people at the stores. We talk about trends. We talk about where we're going as a design company, and really work that far out. So whenever anyone says, "Well, Michael, what's new?" I'm like, I get paralyzed, because I have to think, what did I do 2 years ago that's finally hitting the stores? What we're doing that's coming up soon, which I wanted to sort of give a little bit of a teaser to some of our customers today with. I'm obsessed with these. We always talk about material combinations in the office. We're a company that really has always been using mixed metals in our work and incorporating as much sort of richness through a mix of material. Here, what I've done is I've combined bisque porcelain, pomegranates, and I have to unscrew it. Everything's like a toy for me. If it's not a toy, it's no fun. So here we have, I'll show you how it works. But I make stuff. That's why it's exciting for me. We have porcelain pomegranates with little holes drilled in for the salt and pepper, and then a steel bush, which screws into the stem. So it really becomes like, just this beautiful little object. And I was joking earlier with one of our teams, saying they're so pretty. I'd put these on my Christmas tree.
I would put these on my tree.
They just look like these
these
little gems, But I love the idea that you could have just that golden branch and that white bisque pomegranate on your table. And what could be a better symbol of plenty and abundance on your dining table? Speaking of, again, this is something that we did pretty recently. The idea came to me that it'd be so much fun to do little coasters in pomegranate. Again, you're welcoming your guests in your home. It's a happy moment, and it's such a beautifully symbolic element. These pieces for me, we always talk about how our pieces feel like jewelry for the home.
Yeah.
And we put such a sort of level of detail and attention in our pieces. And with these pieces, it really truly does feel like jewelry. And since I've been creating jewelry the last few years, I think I'm actually even making our objects for the home more jewelry-like. And these are a pretty good example of it.
This is like jewelry for the home. Yeah. So when you're asking someone to use a coaster, it doesn't feel like you're nagging. You're giving them a gift.
Well, you want things that make you smile.
Yeah.
I think you want things that make you happy. I don't know. And I always say, we like to give people excuses to entertain. We're all busy.
Yeah.
We're all living urban lives. We're running around, whether it's kids or parents or whatever we have going on in our life. It's so easy not to invite people over. It's so easy not to entertain. And I think that, if you can make it beautiful, if you can make it really lovely, you don't have to be Julia Childs in the kitchen to do it. You know what I'm saying? Invite your neighbors over for a glass of wine, put your beautiful coasters out, put some cheeses on a beautiful cheese board, some charcuterie, whatever you're able to do at that moment that feels also authentic to you and your culture and your family and who you are, just goes so far, I think.
And I love that you have such beautiful serving pieces that are food safe.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
One of the pieces I'm obsessed with, and this took me a while. I'm gonna grab these. Sorry, I don't think I have any place to put them. Thank you, Chris. Mm-hmm. This is sort of a plateau server that we created about a year ago, which I'm obsessed with because I think it's great when you have height, on your table, especially for those of us who love to serve buffet dinners or maybe buffet desserts after dinner, and you want to create different levels on your table, to make it beautiful, but also practically, you can fit more on your table that way. So I wanted to create something that felt like it was an important serving piece, but also had that level of practicality that I love so much. So here we have a stainless steel tray, which has an etched finish, which can go in the dishwasher.
That's amazing.
With the presentation, with the presentation stand on it. Why I brought this to you? Well, firstly, this is how the bodeg look when they're out of the oven. They're sort of golden brown. But what I love is, I'm going to move in front of the camera for a sec, is that I created these pastry servers here and really did a lot of trial and error to get the shape and the angle right on them. So, if you were serving something like a Napoleon, it would be high enough not to crush it, that it really would work for a variety of pastries or, or hors d'oeuvres. And so I'm going to use this to serve you, one of the cheese bodegs.
Thank you.
What I'm so delighted with is everyone today has gotten one of these servers. So please use it for a variety of things and let me know how it works, because I tried my best to test it on a lot of different things. This will work with the stuffed grape leaves. It would work with practically anything here on the table. It pinches really nicely. One of the other gifts you guys have gotten today from us is the tidbit plate. Okay.
Sorry, that is so delicious.
She's speechless.
That was really good. I needed that.
Oh, good.
I needed that
well,
just now.
Thank you. Yeah. So, so we have the beautiful server, the tidbit plate, and
These plates are gorgeous.
And then the other thing that we've gifted our friends tonight with is our tray with the butterfly ginkgo. So what's fun for me is everyone has a bit of the different collections that we have on the table today. And as you can see, what I use very regularly when we entertain.
Tell me about this.
So this, again, it's sort of like a jewel for the home. It was designed as a honey pot or as a condiment jam pot. It has a beautiful sort of golden honey colored enamel on the inside, and it's a gold plated pomegranate with a little stainless steel spoon. I end up using it all the time in the kitchen with salt. I love keeping things out that are pretty, but also very functional.
Right.
And if it was honey, I would use it sort of sporadically, but not every day. But with salt in it, all the time. It's always out.
This is the most beautiful everyday, way to elevate the everyday.
Thank you. Well, and that's it's so funny because I think so much of our work gets gifted to people. And it sounds funny to say, oh, I gave someone a little serving tray or a little serve, but the pieces just have that very individual quality to them. They each feel like a little individual universe of objects, whether it's the jam pot or the coasters or even a trivet, just really stands alone so beautifully.
They have that handmade quality that is so unique. It makes everything so special.
Yeah. Well, I always say that what we try to achieve in our work is the perfectly imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
When things are made by hand, there's no two ever alike. So each piece has its own vibration. It has its own, I'll say, soulfulness to it. You can feel the hand of the maker in everything. And, I think when you live in a world like ours, where everything's so fast, it's nice to step back and to say, oh, someone made that. I really feel that, even in a very simple way. I'm going to reach across and just the bowl in front of you. This is hysterical. No, the one with the beads around the side. Did you just pass it?
Oh, yeah.
This is a piece, I swear, we use this. This is probably 20 years old. I got it, it was in with the pots and pans. We use it as a mixing bowl. We use it literally with the hand beater when we're cooking things, scrambled eggs, every single thing, every single day. And it's been through everything in our household, literally. I mean, I can't imagine using something or abusing something any more than what we do. And it's still so pretty. We throw it in the dishwasher. Why I asked for it, though, was because each of these beads, the molten beads, are applied by melting a rod of stainless steel, dropping it on the edge, letting it cool, moving on to the next one. If the metal's too hot, it runs off the side. If the metal's too cool, it'll not adhere. So it's like jazz. It's like the perfect rhythm of heat, drop, weight, heat drop weight all the way around. And every single bead, even though when you look at it from afar, you think, oh, it's a beaded pattern. It's not. Each one, like a drop of rain, has its own personality, has its own movement, and just gives you that sense that, oh, someone made this and how special. And the fact that, we use it like I can't even tell, like any mixing bowl in the house, and you can, and I encourage people to.
I can't believe you've had this for 20 years.
Sure.
This looks brand new.
Well, I'll do PAs, Kelly, and people will come in with pieces. I mean, it's sort of hysterical. They'll come in with like plastic shopping bags. I'm like, what is she bringing into it? She'll pull it out. So, can you sign this? And I'll look at it and I'll say, oh my God, it's like a visit from an old friend. I love seeing the pieces, and especially if I can see that they have that patina of age with them.
Right.
What makes me sad is when people say, oh my gosh, Michael, I'm such a huge fan of your work. You should come to my house. It's like a museum. Everything's in my china. I get, no, come on. You've got to use it.
I'm not surprised. This is like art for your food.
No, but the point is you have to, I always say use it and abuse it. We don't often, stress enough that, hey, you can put that in the dishwasher, or hey, don't worry about, look, we have things with lemon, we have things with, acidic foods. I mean, that's how people live. And, for us, we have to design for the everyday. And that's what gives me pleasure.
Right.
Honestly.
Right. I would use these in my bathroom for like cotton balls or something, because I want like beautiful things in my bathroom.
Sure.
And I'm so afraid of using those delicate apothecary jars because I'm afraid I'll knock them
well,
over.
You're my perfect customer.
Yes,
you're my, I love like, okay, well, I'll use it for cheese, but I'll use it for cosmetics, so that's even more fun.
Great. So Cindy asks, is there a story behind the butterfly themes you have on your designs?
Okay, well, Kelly, Cindy, you asked for it. I'm going to tell you the story. Kelly, do you mind passing me that?
This one?
Yeah, with the cheese. This is one of my favorite nut dishes. It has Armenian string cheese in it, which is another really fun thing to do with the kids, have them string the cheese. But why I picked this piece to show you is because the collection's called Butterfly Ginko. Everyone always says, oh, your butterfly collection. I'm like, actually, no. They're leaves and twigs. The collection is inspired by a tree that was outside my bedroom window here in New York City. And every fall I'd have the window open and the leaves would just blow in through the window, almost like a gift from nature. And when you looked at the tree, it looked like the tree was covered in butterflies. It's a variety called the Ginko biloba, where the leaves grow like this. And the nickname for the tree is the butterfly ginkgo tree. I was very inspired by this idea of seeing flora as fauna, and the idea of metamorphosis from flora to fauna. Also, interestingly, the ginkgo tree is the oldest tree in civilization. It's a prehistoric tree, so it survives anything. That's why it's the New York City street tree, because it survives hostile environments. It's just, you can't kill a ginkgo tree, So for me, the piece is very inspired by the idea of change, flora to fauna, and resilience and strength, because of the health effects, the power, the strength of the ginkgo tree. The shapes of the pieces are all inspired. I can't turn this upside down right now, but they're inspired by the shapes of the cocoons of the butterfly. I created this etched pattern, like this one here, maybe you can see it better, which looks like the woven silk of the cocoon. And in my fantasy, when the butterflies are born from the cocoon and land on the branch, they metamorphose into leaves and twigs. So that's the butterfly ginkgo story. Whenever I have a customer who comes in and says, oh, I have a friend, she just moved, or, oh, I have a friend, she's going through a hard time, or she needs a little, and I always say, get butterfly ginkgo, because it does have that amazing symbolism.
I love butterfly ginkgo.
Cindy, that was more than you asked for. Sorry.
No, Cindy wants to know, I wanted to know, I had no idea that these were not actual butterflies, and I didn't know the entire story. So I'm happy
Thank you.
about that. So tell me more about this tray.
Yeah, this is beautiful. So I got very inspired actually by I ripped open the pomegranates earlier tonight, but I love not just the shape of the pomegranate, but actually seeing the seeds. So this was the first piece I ever made where we celebrated really just the rich patterning of the pomegranate seeds, and I've taken that inspiration now and gone further with it with some other people. Well, like these here. So that happened first, and then this happened. But I really love that intricate patterning there. It's just so much fun.
So what inspired you to create such beautiful things?
Well, I studied as you very generously mentioned earlier, I studied as a fine artist, and I went to India 31 years ago, there just to visit friends, not with the idea of, let's say, starting a business or making, making things for sale. I just went there to visit. And while I was there, I discovered sort of a world of artisans making things, just there on the roadside in a very humble way, incredibly skilled artisans who were making functional objects. And for me, the only people I knew who made things were other artists. So I was very inspired to work alongside the craftsmen. And because they were making objects of function, my head went to, artistic objects that had function. So some of my earliest, I wish I had, well, these bowls are one of my earliest pieces, which was really funny. I found these craftsmen who were making big copper pots for Indian weddings. They were beating them and beating them, and they were just beautiful. And I went to the metal market and I bought stainless steel, had them cut by hand
Oh,
into
wow.
circles, took them back to the guys who were making the big copper pots for the Indian weddings. And without any language, at that point, I couldn't speak a word of Hindi. I sort of gesticulated, like, can you make, and they kept saying, no, 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 no. And I was like, why aren't, why wouldn't they take pity on me and help me out here?
Right.
And then, at the end of their workday, they took their biggest hammer and just bashed the piece, just bashed it to show me how it could not be made. Why copper soft, steel's hard? I
Oh,
didn't even put two and two
yeah.
together, and what the result was so beautiful. It had all the hallmarks that I love of this sort of the wonkiness and the handmade, these big sort of hammer marks on the piece. I was so proud, so proud. I went back to the friends I was staying with in New Delhi and showed them the piece, and they laughed and they said, "Oh, Michael, that's like what we feed the cows with."
That's hilarious.
But this was 1988. It was before organic design and
Right.
nature inspired design was as ubiquitous as it is today. This was sort of before all that.
You were a trailblazer. Well, Noreen asks about the vase behind you. She says
Oh,
it's
thank you.
gorgeous and would be perfect in the entrance to her
Oh,
home.
wonderful. Thank you,
Oh,
Noreen.
this one.
Yeah, this is a new piece here. We have it just with some fresh orchids in it, but it's a brand new vase. It's a pomegranate vase, and it is one of my favorites. It's very funny, Noreen. I don't know why, but when I invite people to my home, they come in and they're like, "There's so much Michael Aram in this house." Or if they open the drawers, they'll say, they just start laughing because there is truly so much.
Of
I don't
course.
clock it, but yes, there's truly a lot of my work around.
I mean, it's so beautiful. I would love to be surrounded by all of this every day.
What's nice about the vase also is it has a hammered surface. So each one of those hammer marks are, done one by hand. So, and what I do with the top edge also, if you just run your finger along the top edge, you'll feel that uneven
Oh,
surface
yeah.
that's created from the hammer marks.
And what's so great about it is that you can fill it with water. I'm always afraid to fill like beautiful things with water. I've had like a bad
Bad
experience, but
experiences.
like this is like functional and so beautiful.
Right. What I encourage my customers to do as well is to take a vase like that and just drop a potted plant in it. You could take an orchid plant, and that you could just buy from the grocery store, drop it in, put some moss around the top, water it, and not have to worry about it either.
Oh yeah,
So
that's a
there's
great
fun
idea.
ways to use it.
So Allie asks if you could recommend one gift from your collection this season, what would it be?
Well, Ali, I'm in that same process right now. I think that, because of COVID, a lot of us aren't seeing our families as much as we'd like to. So my go-to gift this year are photo frames. And what I like to do with my frames is to take a photo of my kids, or, maybe of the friend that I'm gifting it to. Maybe I'll take a picture of the two of us and send you that frame with our
I would love
picture in
that.
it, because it's so meaningful. And as many of us who can't get together this year, it's something that's, oh, Chris is so great. Chris
I
is
love
grabbing this frame, by the way. And I'm not, Dan, I hope you're listening. I was on 59th Street a couple winters ago. I was wearing my winter coat, and I always step into my department there, and I just wanted to see how there was no one in the department at all. There was a woman who came in, and she was looking for a frame, and I could just see that on her face, that she wasn't finding what she was looking for. You know, she had that look like, I'm not happy not finding what I'm looking for. So there I am in my winter coat, and I come up to this woman and I say, may I help you? Do you have a question? Now she's thinking, who's this crazy man coming up to on 59th Street asking me? And I said, well, she said, well, you know, there was a frame that Michael Aram used to make, which had twigs, and it was my go-to wedding gift, and I'm not finding it. And at that point, I said, well, I'm Michael Aram, and oh, I love that frame. And oh, you know, maybe I should.
Faint?
Well, at that point, from having no associate, you know, in the department, suddenly every associate was behind me looking and saying, I can't believe this is happening. And she said, I love that frame. And I said, I'll bring it back. So thank you to that
so
lovely
sweet.
Woman. This is a twig frame, which is an older frame of ours. And there's my husband and our son Thaddeus.
That's beautiful. In
the frame. So yeah, I mean, a frame, I think for this time of year is really a great choice.
I think that's a great choice. Alexis is wondering what Michael has done during quarantine to keep busy and stay happy.
Gosh, you know, it's funny, Alexis. We've all been so busy, right? We've been homeschooling our kids. We've been keeping up with work, learning new ways. You know, we've been just very blessed, I think, to be with the kids and try to look at it in a really positive way. My son Thaddeus said to me, you know, Daddy, COVID is so boring, but at least we get to spend time and you're not traveling, you know?
He's sweet.
So I'm trying to just look at, you know, how do we look at this as something that's maybe a I mean, listen, it's horrible, but as a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's been interesting. I've been doing things with my family that I wouldn't have done before, you know, like we're doing more of this, we're doing more cooking,
right.
We're sharing more, we're, you know, having more time together, which is, I think, really, I mean, in a stretch, you know, really special. You know?
Yeah, it is very special. You get to spend time take a break from life and spend time with your loved ones.
Yeah.
So Cindy is wondering if she can have the recipe for the boreg. She wants to serve it. Well, Cindy, we're going to send an email with the recipes for the boreg and the drink tomorrow.
Great. And good luck with that, Cindy. Let us know how it goes.
I can do it, you can do it.
Let us know how it goes.
Well, thank you everyone for joining me and Michael Aram. And Michael, thank you for having us in your amazing home. Anytime. I want to wish you all a happy holiday, and we'll send you a lookbook with the recipes.
Thank you all. Enjoy your pieces. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Take care and be safe.